Hello friends, today we are going to talk about some other built-in functions of Python like map, filter, iter and copy. The map function actually transforms each item of an object. Actually in the map function we apply the function call to each item in the passed in iterable object. Iterable object may be a list, tuple, or a string. Syntax is like here, calling map function, and within brackets we pass a function. This function can be user-defined function or any other function. Iterable is the any collection. It may be a list, a tuple, or a string, or any kind of a iterable object. Map function returns a map object, and we can extract each item from that map object, either by wrapping it in a list or tuple kind of things. We see here one example of using a map function, and I pass to the map function my own user-defined function. You see here, this is a square function name. Square is a function defined by me, and it takes one parameter x, and what it does, it returns x into x, means it returns square of x. Again, here I create a list of numbers, and I call map function here. Here I call map function and pass as first parameter to the map function my own user-defined function is square, and the second parameter to the map function is numbers, the list I have created here. So this map function actually takes each item from this list, each number from this numbers list, and passes that item to this square function. Means suppose first time 1 is passed to the square function, means 1 into 1 is returned 1. Next time 2 is passed. This 2 is passed to this square function here. Again this square function returns 2 into 2, means square of 2. Likewise, it takes each item one by one and returns its square. That returned object is a map object, and it is assigned to squared numbers. Whenever I want to print that map object, I have to wrap it in a list kind of function. List, then within brackets we pass a squared number, the map object. It will print just the square of each item in our original list. So here we have transformed each item of a numbers iterable or list here depending upon the return value of this square function by using this map built-in function. Similarly, I can define here another function like addition. It simply does returns whatever is passed as n, it returns n plus n, means 2 times of n. This time this numbers is a tuple having 4 elements 1, 2, 3, 4, and I use map function passing as first parameter the addition, my own defined function, and passing as iterable the numbers. It again takes each number from this tuple, and each number is added to its own, here n plus n, as per the function I have created here. So it adds each item to itself and returns a map object like 1 plus 1 2. First time it will return 1 plus 1 is 2, then again 2 plus 2, then 3 plus 3 6, 4 plus 4 8. like I can pass my own defined function to the map function. I can use lambda as a parameter to the map function. Here I created a tuple of the same 4 numbers and call the map function by passing a lambda function. This lambda function does the same thing like here I defined in the addition function. Whatever is passed to the n, it returns n plus n. This lambda function also does the same thing. Here, the parameter to the map function, this lambda function, before this column is single parameter x, and return value of this lambda function is x plus x, means number added to itself. So, and the second parameter up to the map function is numbers, means the tuple. First time the first number 1 is passed to this lambda and 1 plus 1 2 is returned. Next time 2 is passed and 2 plus 2 4 is returned. That all the added numbers are collected in the result, which is a map object. To print the values, here I wrap it in a list. So it will print the same thing 2, 4, 6 and 8. If I want to just print the return value of the map function, we see here. Suppose I call here map function, then str.upper. Str.upper means str is a string object, and when I call str.upper means it makes each character uppercase. This is a function which makes each character uppercase, and the second parameter is the open, then this file name test2.txt. This open function, by passing a file name, returns a file object. File object is itself an iterable, and each item of this file object is a line, first line, second line, third line. So first line of this test2.txt is passed to this str.upper function, and all the characters in that line are made uppercase. Then next time the second line of this file is passed to this str.upper function. Again the second line characters are also they also become uppercase. So this the return value of this map function is a map object. You see here map object, and to extract each item of this map object, I have to call like this. First assign return value of map as a ret. This is a map object. Then calling next function. Actually this double underscore, then next, then double underscore, then this small bracket means I extract next item of this ret object, means map object. So next item means the first object will be, first item will be the first line of this file test2.txt, and its return value is like this. You see all the characters of this line are in uppercase letters. Again if I call ret.next, it will return the next line of the file converted to uppercase characters here. You see test2.txt, here I can show you test2.txt is this one, and all the characters in each line are converted to capital letter. So I have shown you the use of this map function, and to extract each item of the map return value, I have to use like this map object dot next. Calling next each time returns the next item of this map object. So this map function converts each item of the past iterable depending upon the return value of the function to which it is passed. Likewise, there is a function filter here. Filter function is also a built-in function, so there is no need to import any module here. We can directly call function, and like the map function, a function is applied to each element in the iterable. It has also two parameters. This filter function has two parameters. First is the function name, and second is the iterable. It may be list, tuple, string, or any iterable, even file object. So each item of this iterable is passed to this function, and if this function returns true, it means that item of the iterable will be collected as output of the filter function. So what items from this iterable to be selected depends upon the return value of this function. If the function returns true for that item of the iterable, then that item will be collected in the filter output. We can see some example here. Another thing is that filter function does not modify the original iterable. It does not modify the original object. You can note this thing here. Take an example, like I assign numbers variable to this list of 10 numbers from 1 to 10. Then I define here a function is even here. I pass a single number here as x, and return value is either true or false. x%2 means whatever number is passed to is even function, it is divided by 2, and if remainder is 0, then it will return true, otherwise it will return false. Means it will, in case of even numbers it will return true, and in case of odd numbers it will return false. So this is even function is passed as a first parameter to this filter function, and second parameter to this filter is numbers, the list. Then each item of this number is passed to the each even function, and each even function returns true only for even numbers of the list. So return value is here even numbers kind of filter function, and if I want to print the result of the filter function, I have to wrap it in a list object here, making a list. It is a list. So you see the list here 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Means out of these 10 numbers 1 to 10, only these 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 means only even numbers are selected by the filter function. So filter function filters the iterable depending upon the output of the function which is passed to the filter as first parameter. As a second example, here I define a function named fun, passing a variable. I define within the body of this function I have this two statements. First statement is here defining a list of vowels here. Second statement is a if else clause. If variable in letters means whatever variable is passed here to the fun function, If that variable is in the letters object here in this list, then it will return true. Function will return true. Otherwise, else it will return false. Means if variable is an vowel, then it will return true, otherwise false. So this one will select only or return true only for vowels. Again, I have a sequence list. This is a list of characters, and I use here function filter function, passing my this fun function here, and the second parameter is the sequence list of characters. So each character from the sequence list is passed to the fun function, and fun function returns true only for vowels here, as you already see. So the returned value of this filter function is a filtered object that contains only vowels of this sequence. Again, I use a for loop here for s in filtered. Means filtered is a return value of the filter function, and each item of the return object is assigned to s, and this s is printed. You see, only this e, u, e, I are in the return filter object. So here also filters the characters based on whether they are vowel or not. Like I can use lambda function in map function. I can also use lambda in filter function also. See here, sequence is a list from this having some numbers. I pass a lambda function to this filter function, and the second parameter to this filter is sec, means this list. Now each item of this list will be passed to this lambda. Lambda simply takes that number in place of x and returns this expression. This expression divides that number by 2 and checks the remainder not equal to 0. If the remainder is not equal to 0, means it is an odd number, then it returns true. See carefully that x% 2 not equal to 0. This will only return true or false. For odd numbers, returned value of divided by 2 will not be equal to 0, and it will be true. So it will only return true for odd numbers. So this function, lambda function, filters odd numbers from this iterable past. You see the result, and I print the filter object, result object here, and the return value is here 1, 3, 2, 5, 13 here. Again, in this case, I pass, you see, again in this filter, I passed a lambda function as first parameter. It checks that number and it divides the number by 2, and if the remainder is equal to 0, means it will return true, otherwise return false. So it will return true only for even numbers. You see here the result is even number, a list of even numbers. So out of these whole numbers, I filtered out even numbers here. This is another example of this filter function. And see here, You see this one, this filter, passing lambda x% not equal to 0, means it will return odd numbers, and this one will return even numbers. If I first clear the output and again run this cell here in Jupyter, you see first filter returns this odd numbers and the second filter returns this even numbers here, even numbers. Again, I can pass in place of list or string, I can also pass a file object. Here in this program, I use filter function and pass the bool here, means true or false. And as a second parameter to the filter function, I passed file object. First I call open function and pass the name of the file. By default, it will open the file in read mode. So I open the file test2.txt in read mode, and this open function returns a file object, that is an iterable object. Then first item in this object, in this file object will be first line, the second item will be the second line of the file. And since if that line contains some characters, means it is not empty, then bool will return true, otherwise false. So this line contains this file contains two lines, test2.txt, as you have already seen. Then for those two lines, this bool function will return true, and after that, for lines which are empty, it will return false. So it will return true for only first two lines which are there. Like I have used here that function. First, you see, I have used this filter function and passing a bool. Bool is a already Python built-in function, and if item is true, then it will return true. It means any object which is not empty in Python is treated as true, and none object and empty strings and zero number are treated as false. Except this, all the objects which have some value, negative or positive numbers and non-empty strings, are treated as true. The second parameter to this filter function is as already explained, the file object containing each line of the file. So each line will be passed to this bool. For the first two lines, since they are not empty, so return value will be true, and those lines will be collected as return of the filter. And I wrap this return value as a list to print those values. You see here the two lines are elements of the return object of the function. First is the first line, and this \n. \n represents the new line. After each line, after the text of each line, Python adds \n, means new line character. And this is the second line, and we add \n. It is added by Python. So only two lines are printed here because these are the true value of this bool function. In here, here in this example, I have converted this file object in a list. You see the two lines here. I can convert the file object in tuple. You see there, these two lines are members of this tuple. I have used this join, this string double and dot join. I used a join function and passing the file object as parameter, means it will add double and characters between each items of this file object, means between each line, means first line and this second line are joined by this double and. So another functions are like sorted function that sorts item by default in ascending order of any iterable. Some function adds the all the items of the past object. Any function returns true if the iterable contains any one true value, means character or string or any number. Otherwise, if it is empty, it will return false. All function will return true if all the items of an iterable are true, means have some values. We will see it just now. Max function will return largest item of the past iterable, like minimum function will return the smallest of the item of the past iterable. You see here sorted. I have used sorted function, and on this file object using open function, I opened the file test2.txt and pass this file object to the sorted function. It will sort in ascending order, means in the ASCII files you see here F first line and this is second. F comes first in the ASCII number, so it is sorted here. I used here some function passing this list value. You see it adds all the elements of this list and prints the sum here. Any, you see as a parameter to the any function, I passed 3 items here. First is a spam string, second is a empty string, third is a ni string. So in this, if spam string or ni string are true, means have some values, hence it returns true here. And as a parameter to all, I pass here spam, the same any, and the same here empty string. But you see this empty string is regarded as false in Python. So the output of this all is here false because it requires all items to be true for return value to be true. If any is false, then it will return false. So this empty string is false here, so it returns false here. You see max, using max passing a list of numbers, it returns 5, since 5 is the largest number. Again in this example I passed a list of numbers to the min function, it returns the minimum value item, that is 1. Sort, likewise sort function sorts the elements of a list or tuple or any iterable, and by default it sorts in ascending order. And one important thing is that sort function modifies the list in place, means the original list is changed here. There are 2 parameters that are optional to this sort function. First is the key, that is a function. We can specify a function to be applied for sorting. Like I can use the length function, means lengthwise sorting. And the second parameter is a Boolean parameter reverse, means if we want to sort in reverse order, then we have to tell reverse is equal to true. We have to pass this value in the sort function. By taking an example, you see L is a list having 3 strings. If I use L.sort, means if I apply sort function of this list, passing key is equal to str.lower. Str lower, will make each string in lowercase. And the second parameter is reverse is equal to true, means I have to sort in reverse direction, means highest value first and lowest value in the last. I am applying the sort function on this list, L. So all the items of this list are first converted to by this key str.lower to lowercase. ABC is already lower. Capital ABD is converted to small abd, and A capital BE is converted to small abe. After converting it small, it will apply it will sort in reverse order. So this is assigned to S. If I print this S, it prints none, means return value of the sort is none. Actually it sorts in place, means these values of L, items of L are changed, are sorted. If I print here L, value of L, you see here the list is changed, items are rearranged. Means you see AB, since str.lower has converted all characters to small case, then if I sort in reverse order, so you see here AB is common in all these items. The highest item is E, then next lower is D, next lower is C. So ABE comes first and at last ABC comes. It has sorted the original list here. But keep in mind that return value of this sort function is none, as shown here. Another function, a similar kind of behavior is sorted, which sorts a collection, but it does not change the original values. It makes a new list. Like here, I use the same list here and apply sorted function, passing L, the above list, as first parameter. Then the function key is equal to str.lower, means converting each character of the passed in string in lowercase, a reverse is equal to true, means sort in reverse direction. This key and this reverse are optional. If we don't mention key and reverse, it will sort in ascending order. You see the value is here printed, ABE, it is the same, each has sorted. Here the ABE, then D, then C here at last. You see, if I print L, it is the same as the original string here, ABC, ABD, ABE. Means original string is, original list is not changed by the sorted function. Another function is reversed here. I call reverse function passing a list of 4 numbers. It will reverse each item in descending order, in reverse direction. Means first is 4, then is 3, then 2, then 1. It means last item will become first and first item will become last here. 4, 3, 2, 1 will become 1, 2, 3, 4 here in reverse direction. Another example of max, you see here, I assigned a sequence of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. I can directly pass this seq to this map function. Another method to pass this list is using this star operator. If I use star sec, then it will pass to the max function as a comma separated items of this list. Means 1, 2, 3, 4 separated by comma. So here parameter to the max function will become comma separated values of 1, 2, 3, 4 here. To do this, we have to write like star sec. Or otherwise here you can see directly I have converted this list to comma separated values by using star operator. A list 1, 2, 3, 4 is a list having 4 values, and if I use star before this, it means it will convert this list into 1, 2, 3, 4 means parameters of this function. Another protocol very commonly used in Python is iteration protocol. Any list or any iterable object can be extracted. We can extract each item of that object one by one by using you see here you see here the example. I use here L is equal to 1, 2, 3. L is a list having 3 items. And if I use iter function here, passing L, this list, as a parameter, it means this iter function will convert this list L into an iterable object. Now I assign this iterable object to I. If I call I dot this next, it will extract next item, means first item from that list. Again, if I call I dot next, it will extract the next item from that iterable. Each time I call next, it will extract the next item, and you see by the output here, first 1 is returned, next 2 is returned, is 3 is returned. After 3, since no other item is there in the iterable list, so it will return a stop iteration exception since no item is there. So I can convert any object in a iterable to extract each item one by one by calling iter function and passing that list or tuple or string, any iterable. Even file objects can also be a file. Now file object don't need to be passed to the iter function, because file object are itself iterable. Here I open a file test.txt and that file object is assigned to f. I can directly call f.next. It will extract first line of the file. Then again if I call f.next, it will extract second line of the file. You see by the output test.txt contains 2 lines. In the first line it has first line of a file, in the second line is so I can directly use iteration protocol on file objects by assigning the file object some name and calling next function each time to extract the next item. Range function also returns a sequence. Range 5 returns numbers from 0 to 4. And this range to convert is in a iterable item. I call iter function passing this output of range, this R. The return value of this iter, if I assign it to I, and if I call I dot next, it returns the first item, is 0. And if I again call I dot next, it will return 1. Up to 4 it will return. If again I call next, then it will return, and it will actually return an stop iteration exception after the last item. Lines of the file can also be read like this. You see here I am calling open function, passing the test.txt, name of the file, it will return a file object. If I call read function on the file object, it will return all the files at once. You see, all the lines here, 3-4 lines are returned, and between each sentences you see \n parameter character. \n is a new line that Python already adds between each line. But when I print this file object after calling read function, it will not add \n. You see here as a parameter to the print function, I open this file by calling open function. Then on the file object I call read function. It will read all lines of the file, and all lines of the file will be stored here as a parameter to the print, and the print function will print all those lines. You see all 3 lines are printed here. \n is no here. Test.txt has, you can see here, these are the 3 lines of this file, test.txt, which may be printed line by line. I can manually read each line also here using for loop for line in open. Again, I opened the test.txt file and assigned each line to this line variable. Then in the body of for loop, I print line.upper. Means each line is, since line is a string object, the content of the line of the file will be string. Then calling upper function of that string object changes all the characters of that line to upper case. So it will print like this. All the lines are made in uppercase. Another thing, another function in the Python is a copy function. For this, we can copy one object to another. For this, we can import from copy, import copy, and deep copy. This copy is a module, and this module contains copy functions. So from copy, import copy means import copy function from copy module. Means if I have to use like copy.copy. Another function I import here is deep copy. So the difference between copy, simple copy, shallow copy, and deep copy is that deep copy copies all the elements, even the nested elements of the items of the object. We see here by example here, list 1 is here. List 1 contains 4 elements. First 2 elements are 1 and 2, and third element is itself a list. You see here, this is a nested list. Fourth item is a simple number 4. So this list 1 contains at its index 2 a nested list having 2 elements, 3 and 5. If I use here list, if I use copy function, passing this list 1 means it will copy list 1 and return it to list 2. Now this is a shallow copy here. If I assign the index at third index of the element to 7 value, means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This 4 will become 7 here. And if I assign this second element, means at index 2, I append, since the list at index 2 means the nested list, this one at index 2 is a list, and I can call append function on that list passing the 6, means it will add 6 to this list, means this list will contain 3, 5 and 6, 3 elements. If I print list 2, it will print here, you see. First I copied the whole list. List 1 is copied in list 2. Then list 2 is modified here. First item and index 3 is modified, means 4 becomes 7 here. And again in this statement I modified list 2, the third element means at index 2, that this nested list, by adding another number here, means it becomes 3, 5 and 6. So list 2 is here, list 2 becomes here. If I print list 1 here, again the original list from where I have copied, it contains, you see here, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 and 4. It had changed the original list also. You see here, list 1 is changed here. 1, 2, and this append function has appended to the original nested list contains only 2 values, 3, 5. Then that list is appended. The original list is also changed and contains 6. So simply using copy function changes the original list, because this 3, 5 in nested list is stored as a reference. Its address is stored. Whenever I change on the copy, means I change the value at that address also. Copy function works on the reference or address of the nested list here. And by changing this nested item by using append function, it changed the original value also. You see the list 1 also changed here. This is not possible in deep copy. Deep copy simply copies the flat values, all the values. It does not copy addresses. So I cannot change original list values. You see here I copied the deep copy. I use the deep copy function passing list 1 here. Now see, list 1 becomes here this one. If I use deep copy function of list 1, then assign this copied variable to list 3, and in this statement I change the list 3, means element at third index, to 8, means this 4 value becomes here as 8. This becomes 8 here. And if I append list 3 at 2 index, means the third element, using the append 7. If I print list 3, it becomes 1, 2 and 3, 5, 6, 7. You see here one more item is added to the nested list here, means list 3 has changed, but list 1 is not changed. It is the same as here list 1, because deep copy changes flat value. It doesn't go to the addresses. So original value remains same here. So this is the difference. I can use, if I want to keep nested objects in a iterable or in a list same as the original, I can use deep copy, and if I want values to be changed, I can use shallow copy by using copy function. So this is the end of this session. Thank you.